As the days went by, Rachel couldn't stop thinking about Mary and the ghostly encounter she had experienced. She wondered how many other ghosts were trapped in the old house, and if there was anything she could do to help them move on. One day, while she was cleaning the attic, Rachel found another diary. This one belonged to a man named Thomas, who had lived in the house around the same time as Mary. The diary was filled with stories of love, loss, and betrayal. As Rachel read through the diary, she heard the footsteps in the attic again. This time, she wasn't afraid. She knew that the ghosts of the house were reaching out to her, hoping that she could help them find peace. Rachel and Mike decided to start a ghost hunting business. They would help spirits trapped in old houses to move on to the afterlife. They were surprised to find out how many people were interested in their services. They quickly became well known in the paranormal community and even appeared on a few ghost hunting TV shows. Rachel and Mike continued to investigate haunted houses and help ghosts move on for many years. They never forgot about Mary and Thomas, the ghosts who had started it all. They hoped that they were finally at peace and that they could help others find the same. The old house was eventually sold to a new family, who never experienced any ghostly encounters. Rachel and Mike were happy to know that the ghosts of the house had finally found the peace they deserved. When Rachel and her husband Mike moved into their new house, they knew that it needed a lot of work. The house was old, and the attic was a mess. They decided to tackle the attic first since it was the largest project. As they were clearing out the clutter, Rachel found an old diary. It belonged to a woman named Mary, who had lived in the house more than 100 years ago. Rachel was fascinated by the diary and read it cover to cover. It told the story of Mary's life, her loves, and her heartbreaks. But there was something strange about the diary. Every time Rachel read it, she heard footsteps in the attic. It sounded like someone was walking around up there, even though she knew she was alone. She tried to ignore it, but it only got worse. One night, Rachel woke up to find a figure standing at the foot of her bed. It was Mary, the woman from the diary. She was dressed in an old-fashioned gown, and her hair was styled in a bun. Rachel couldn't believe what she was seeing. Mary told Rachel that she had been trapped in the attic for more than 100 years. She had died up there, and her spirit had been unable to move on. Rachel was the first person to read her diary in a long time, and it had given Mary hope that someone could help her. Rachel and Mike decided to help Mary. They contacted a psychic who specialized in ghostly encounters, and she came to the house to investigate. The psychic told them that Mary was indeed trapped in the attic, and that they needed to perform a ritual to help her move on. The ritual was intense, but it worked. Mary's spirit was finally able to move on to the afterlife. Rachel and Mike were sad to see her go, but they knew it was the right thing to do. From that day on, Rachel never heard the footsteps in the attic again. She knew that Mary was finally at peace, and so was she.